just to show his dad once the logistics of how Georgie could have survived.
And that's such a kid thing to do too.
Yeah, but also just the amount that like he went into and have to have his dad just shut him down immediately, and you get kind of angry at the dad, but then you realize
it's like the town's cursed.
And also like you lose a son, and you hear him that he's into the sewers, and obviously you're not confirmed that he's dead, but at the same time you kind of don't want to know. You kind of don't want people talking about what if he's alive, because you don't want that doubt yourself
that he might.
So when he went into that beginning part, I was like really impressed with that. Another actor I wanted to give a shout out to was Jack Dylan Grazer, who plays Eddie. I thought Eddie, while Bill definitely was a main character and did his work to perfection, in my opinion, Eddie stole the show because he was kind of the reactionary to Finn Wolfhard's character. His name again?
That's Richie Tozier.
Richie Tozier. He was kind of reactionary to like what jokes he would tell, but he was just so funny. And while Richie's character was supposed to be funny, his was kind of just his mannerisms got me when
his arm broke and he's like, "Don't touch me! Don't touch me!"
Yeah, and then he has like the asthma thing, so he's very like relatable, and he feels like such a little kid because he's got his own problem. And
he had a great scene, the leper. That was I love that.
Oh yeah.
That because I love the whole their own fear thing. Some of them were better than others. But.
What's the thing from the miniseries? I remember doing some research on this that one of them is afraid of the werewolf.
Richie is scared of the werewolf, and they changed it to clowns, which is a little because
they want to keep it consistent with Pennywise, but.
We should get to
in the scene when the claws come out of the clowns.
Yeah, that's a little. I believe that is a reference. Yeah.
And
he had a lot of tricks up his sleeve.
In the book, and I don't know if it's in the miniseries as well, but like they're all fearful of like 80s stuff or like
50s stuff.
50s stuff.
When Stephen King was writing,
Creature of the Black Lagoon. So I think the reason they took those parts out was because they wanted to
move it to the 80s.
Yeah, and they also wanted to keep it consistent with like one fear rather than.
I'm happy they didn't put Freddy Krueger as one of them. That would have been dumb.
That would have been silly.
Yeah, but no. When Stephen King was writing the book, he's like, "I'm going to put all the monsters in this book," and so he did. And I love how they decided. Well, that was the 50s. Let's do the 80s. Yeah. And the fear's so much more personal. Like his parents dying. Right. That was great. What we have? What was Ben's fear? Like the headless kid? Like he just was researching.
Yeah, I think it was just
dread.
The headless people, because when he's like researching and he saw the head in the tree. So I guess that's fair.
Do you want to move to Sophia Lillis as Beverly?
Sure. Very strong character, I'd say.
I'd say it's like the second strongest.
Because it's also just a good aspect of how this movie's grounded in reality, because every school has that we think she did this, and let's all judge her as that, and we'll classify her as that. And she says herself, I kissed one guy, and they all think I'm a major slut, and I'm having sex with everyone, when really it's just one thing that gets thrown down the rumor mill, and then all of a sudden it gets blown up out of proportion. And so that's why I really enjoyed her character, because it was such a realistic character, and and we see her take on it, and we see her perspective, and the fact that these kids view her as such a popular, almost like a supermodel to them,
because they've never talked to a girl before,
right?
That's that stage.
But once she's put into when she is in the Losers Club, and it's very it's fitting, and
it's fitting for all of them. One of my favorite scenes in the movie, as Liam was talking about, this isn't full horror. When she was cutting her hair, that was very emotional,
and also very empowering.
Yeah, empowering too. She her abusive father.
Yeah,
obviously.
because
another good performance, honestly.
Yeah,
the dad was pretty good.
And then just because he says "Oh, you look like a boy," and it's almost because she's I don't want this identity to be this stereotypical girl that you think is just having sex with everyone. I want to be someone else, and we don't not transgender necessarily, but she doesn't want to. She sees that being a girl is being classified as
something can be taken advantage of.
Right,
her father has done that.
Exactly.
You can see it when he
they never outright say it, but it's very heavily. Yeah, exactly.
But her love triangle was with Bill and Ben was great. I felt so bad for Ben, but I think by the end of it, he's okay, she's my friend.
Yeah.
What else we got?
I would kind of want to touch on the bullies for a second.
Henry
just
Bowers,
because, they
Nicholas
were
Hamilton.
brutal.
Because I think Henry Bowers was brutal.
Yeah.
The other kids.
He's the one with the knife.
Yeah, Henry Bowers played by Nicholas Hamilton.
And then who's the one with the
Patrick Hockstetter?
With the flamethrower.
Yeah.
Well, it's really just a lighter and a can of like Axe body spray or whatever. But
good acting all around.
Yeah, great acting by them because you just see like
sadistic.
Modern bullies where it's most of it's like just like they don't even say it to your face, they'll just say it like behind your back, and these kids are literally
carving
he's about to carve his name into the kid's stomach.
He has an H too,
and the kid is just
Ben.
Almost expected, like he doesn't expect this brutality, but he expects to just get picked on. Yeah, and it's
explained well too. His father also abusive. Like, that was one of my favorite lines in the movie. Like
great scene. When Henry's his character name.
Henry Bowers. Yes.
Yeah, and he's with like his gang, and he's trying to act all tough, and his dad shows up and he fires 3 shots like close to his feet, and Henry's like he's all scared and he like curls up, and his dad just. Do you have the exact line, or
it's just, like paperman? Yeah, he's what makes a paperman crumble fear.
Yeah, exactly. And so it just shows like these bullies where they try to like be so tough and try to like instill fear and everything.
He's like, and he does end up killing his father.
Yeah,
which is in line.
And he tells him to. Yeah, and he also doesn't even really own up to it too, because he does it while he's asleep. And he doesn't like let him wake up. He just puts the knife in his neck.
And what happened to Henry at the end when Mike, another great scene. I think it was probably Mike's best scene, getting pushing Henry down the well.
Yeah.
I don't think he's dead because it's important that Henry's alive for the second part.
Okay.
But if he did die, it'd be interesting to see what they could do with the character. But just another great performance.
Yeah. Getting into my gripe about the movie, where I felt like it could have ended multiple times. When they kept attacking Pennywise, I just felt like at times...
That first time I don't think was necessary.
Yeah, but I felt just like... I can't remember specifics, but I just remember there were times where I'm like, all right, we're ready for this to end. And then, like, he pops out of Georgie. And that's all I really had to gripe about. But I do want to get into that scene with Georgie where they have the gun for, like, the goats from Chosen's character, Chosen Jacobs.
The bolt gun?
Yeah, but what's his character name? Chosen's?
Mike Hamlin.
Yeah. They have the bolt gun with only one bolt in it, and Bill uses that to kill the, like, not silhouette, but just, like,
It's it as Georgie.
Of Georgie. And so then the Pennywise comes back, and the gun isn't loaded. And Chosen's character, his name again, sorry? Mike. He says the gun's not loaded.
It's not loaded,
but Bill doesn't hear him, I don't think.
And it still works.
Because he shoots him and it still works, and that's one of those scenes where it's not explicitly said, but it's like Pennywise, the manifestation of its weakness is not...
being afraid of it.
Exactly, and the fact that Bill was able to shoot it despite not having the gun loaded, it still worked because he believed it worked.
This happens in the miniseries too when Eddie sprays battery acid, like his inhaler. This is battery acid use slime. Speaking Pennywise, let's get to Pennywise.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's probably like everyone wants to hear that. Bill Skarsgård is like he's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Amazing character acting.
My favorite scene in this movie has to be the refrigerator scene.
Yeah,
like he comes out and he's all the CGI, and even without the CGI, he still moves. The way he moves, he carries himself. He's drooling everywhere. Yeah, like he attacks Eddie, and like Eddie starts slapping him. He grabs his arm. Oh, I'm gonna bite you. I'm gonna bite you.
Right.
And like all his lines are just so like antagonizing. Yeah. He's like, oh, it worked for Georgie. Stuff like that. Like
they instill fear in ways more than just the aspect of the fact that it's like a cannibalistic clown. And I know it's not a human thing; it's a whole yeah, exactly. But just like besides the fact that he's eating children, even his lines still almost instill more fear than what his actions do.
He talks so many different ways too. Yeah. Like when he's talking at the source scene when he's talking to Georgie, so friendly Georgie, and stuff.
Like that,
and like then he like stops talking. He gets bored. Like I'm hungry. Let's eat. And he's drooling, and like that was great. I don't know if it was CGI now. He looks like a shark grabbing Georgie's arm. Another great scene. And but like he's like his face, like he's like when he's crying, fake crying in front of Eddie, just like, oh boo hoo you, I'm gonna eat you. Yeah. But and this has been said before, like he could have killed the kids pretty easily, but I guess he needs fear, which happens when the the meme scene when he dances. he's trying to scare Beverly, and Beverly's not scared. He's like, "Oh, if you're not, if she wasn't scared." So he shows her the deadlights, and she goes into a coma.
Yeah. Mike references the meme scene, and we say this because one of my favorite aspects of this film might just be the memes that come from it, because Pennywise does his little dance.
I bought the song.
Yeah, and he just every one that they attach it to, whether it's like the what's the cartoon again?
One.
Yeah, We Are Number One. Whether it's that or the slob on my knob thing, just it's so funny, and that's like one thing that I'm glad that could be taken away from the movie.
Yeah.
One more aspect I want to talk about Pennywise with was the drooling aspect.
Oh yeah, that was Bill.
Yeah,
and it's actually drooling.
It's not necessarily him purposely drooling. It's just he doesn't care that much. Like, he's so focused on his goal of making these kids afraid that he doesn't even care to, like, obviously it would be weird if he like took his time and wiped his mouth, but just the fact that like he doesn't care about anything else. He's so focused on making these kids afraid of him, and that's just an aspect of the Pennywise character and Bill Skarsgård's acting that I just really admired, because it shows a little niche that he added to the character.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to wrap up our talk of It. We really enjoyed this movie, as you could see.
Definitely.
Just, again, our scores, Mike gave it an 8 out of 10. Yep. I gave it an 8.5. I definitely would recommend seeing this movie in theaters. I don't think buying it on DVD and watching it at home, while it would be great, I don't think it would do as much justice as it is in a theater.
I do think it's going to be like a sleepover movie for a lot of kids.
Oh, for sure. But I think it's one of those movies where
you got to see it.
You should see it in theaters.
IMAX. You got to see it in IMAX.
Because it is the talk of the town right now, and I would definitely recommend seeing it in theaters. So we are going to just wrap this up with our actor of the week. Last week I did say Bill Skarsgård, so I can't really use him again. But my personal actor of the week, it's actually going to be actress, and I'm going to go Alicia Vikander. Despite the fact all she was in was a trailer, I really like seeing her get mainstream attention because she was so good in Ex Machina. Ex Machina was one of my favorite movies of the year it came out. I believe it was 2016. I could be wrong. But she was so good in that role, and I was really rooting for her to get mainstream attention once I found out she was cast in this role. And now she has the trailer as Tomb Raider. She's got the poster and everything. She's really getting more mainstream attention. So, yeah, it's not necessarily her performances, but I'm just glad that she's getting more attention.
News, yeah. Can I have an actor of the week?
Of course, yeah. Go for it.
Again, Jack Dylan Grazer. We said probably my favorite kid of the movie.
The Eddie, right?
Yeah. He's also in the news with that new show happening, like Me, Myself, and I, or something like
that.
Yeah,
I heard about that. Yeah.
And I think things looking up for pretty much all these kids. All of the kids could be actors of the week at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like those points.
Yeah.
And then what to see this weekend? So Kingsman: The Golden Circle. It's not getting great reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's getting okay.
But
it's very in the middle.
When I see the trailers, I can't help but just smile because it's such I'm not the biggest James Bond fan because I find them, yes, they're very realistic. I put them in heavy quotations, takes on spy movies, but they're more serious, I guess. But Kingsman just seems to have fun with it. All the trailers seem to be very fun.
Yeah.
The original Kingsman I really enjoyed. And so, despite the fact it's not getting the greatest reviews, I would still say, go for it. Just check it out because I know I'll see it at some point. And then other movies that are in theaters. Mother.
I want to see it.
Mother is very controversial, but I still want to see it because I want to see what all the talk is about. And I already know everything.
I think it's good for the movie.
Yeah, I know everything that happens in the movie because I couldn't resist spoilers. But it's just a very interesting take on, I can't even say the subject, but on the subject. And then American Assassin.
That got
still in theaters, decent, just generic horror, horror movie. My mind's still on it, but generic
action.
This person killed this person.
Keaton in that?
Michael Keaton, Dylan O'Brien. Good role for him because I think he's trying to break into mainstream Hollywood. So we are coming up on time, so we're going to close out this podcast with saying thank you for listening. I've been your host, Liam Crowley. I've been joined by Mike Gillis. Mike?
I'm happy to be here, and I can't wait to do more. This is really fun.
Yeah, awesome. So thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next Thursday.
what you do. When I'm alone, I'd rather be with you. Fuck these other niggas, I'll be right by your side till 2005.
Okay, hold up, wait a minute. All good just a week ago. Crew at my house, and we party every weekend, so